We now have Commander Amila Amarawardhana, who would be speaking on foreign involvement of terrorism in Sri Lanka during conflict era. And Commander Amarawardhana is a member of the Sri Lankan Navy. He is a marine engineer and has masters in international relations. He is currently head of the Marine Engineering Department in the Defense University. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Session Chair, distinguished guest, good afternoon. Today my topic is foreign involvement of terrorism in Sri Lanka during conflict era. This is an appraisal which has happened in the past, but today I think it is even valid today if we study properly. Sequence of my presentation: introduction, Indian involvement, role of UK, Canada, Australia, South Africa, Norway, Japan and USA. These are some of the examples that I have selected. Elements bolstering LTT activities, clues on oil reserves of Gulf of Mannar, and finally the conclusion. Indian involvement. Sri Lanka is, all of us know that Sri Lanka is only 18 miles away from Tamil Nadu. India supported Sri Lankan militants since 1980, and it was boosted up since 1983 with the communal riots in Sri Lanka. And the most important fact is that 70 million Tamils in Tamil Nadu, whereas 3.1 million Tamils in Sri Lanka. So those Tamils in Tamil Nadu, they have general sympathy on the Tamils in Sri Lanka. After the Operation Liberation, IPKF arrived in Sri Lanka in 1987. Thereafter, as a result of the peace accord signed between Sri Lanka and India, and after the assassination of Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Indian open support to these terrorists were diminished. However, the Norway facilitator, peace facilitator, Erik Solheim once said that India's silent support was there throughout the Norway peace process. And I should quote one example from Mr. J.N. Dixit, who was the Indian Prime Minister in Sri Lanka. Once he said, only India's requirement was only to destabilize Sri Lanka, but not to see a separate Tamil homeland. Role of United Kingdom. LTT established their first office in London in 1978. By 2007, there were 150,000 to 200,000 Tamils were there in UK. UK advocated North Ireland example for Sri Lanka, but which is not a fruitful effort still. On 2nd May 2007, at the peak of their involvement, there was a debate in the UK Parliament on the Sri Lankan situation. Generally, Labour Party and Liberal Democrat Party members, they support the cause of Tamil Eelam in Sri Lanka. However, the conservatives in UK, they are repeatedly recommending to continue ban on LTTE. However, in 12th February 2009, UK appointed Des Brown as special envoy for the Sri Lankan situation. Role of Canada. Canada as a country did not support LTTE openly, but the humane qualities in the immigrants law, and it allowed these Tamil terrorists to manipulate the situation in Canada. By 2008, there are 225,000 Tamil population in Canada, and another interesting fact is that when you land in Canada, you can repeatedly apply for citizenship. If it is failed, then you can again apply. It is a repeated process, and then during that whole period, the relevant person, he will be in Canada. However, in 16 June 2008, Canada proscribed LTTE. As the role of Australia, as per Dr. Palitha Kohana, 20% to 30% funds received LTTE from Australia. Some member of Parliament supported terrorism due to the seeking of votes. On 21st December 2001, Australia proscribed LTTE because of from the international through the international law. However, their liberal policies were allowed LTTE people to manipulate. Role of South Africa. South Africa is a country having many Indian origin Tamils. So, even in the African National Congress, there are many Indian origin Tamils. So, they viewed LTTE problem as similar to the apartheid problem they had in their country. So, they had the sympathy of these people. But we should understand, African National Congress is a multiracial organization, whereas LTTE was a monoethnic one. And ANC fought for the majority, whereas LTTE fought for the minority. In 1998, there was a plan to shift the LTTE's London office to South Africa. But due to the close relationship between President Chandrika Kumaratunga and President Mandela, that effort was prevented. Role of Norway. So everybody, it is a very debatable topic of Norway, but we should understand what their economy is. Normally, fishing, arms trade and oil exploration are the major income areas of the Norway economy. And another important fact is that Norway doesn't expect end users declaration when they are selling arms. Means they can sell somebody and they don't request for the end users declaration. And that person, the second person, he can sell arms to somebody else. But Norway was a co-chair of the Sri Lankan peace process. After abrogating, Sri Lankan government abrogating the ceasefire agreement on 16 January 2008, Norway's involvement was diminished from the peace process. I would like to pay your attention on the white color, facts indicated in white color. By 2007, Norway was the 7th largest exporter of arms and ammunition. Their sale was only second to Italy, France and Germany. This is their website. This is the official website of Norway. Role of Japan. Japan as a country did not support Sri Lankan terrorism openly, but they have economic interest in Sri Lanka. In 2003, Yasushi Akashi was appointed as the special envoy, and while accepting his appointment, he mentioned new phase of Japanese diplomacy. What is this new phase of Japanese diplomacy? From Middle East to Japan, they don't have a proper location. So, they needed a place to stay and do their business. Even before that, in 1993, Japan purchased 59% shares of the Colombo Dockyard Limited, and they have now they have share in Dockyard, and they are the owners of Colombo Dockyard, which is located in Colombo Harbour. Role of USA. USA also is a co-chair of the Sri Lankan peace process. USA has listed LTTE as a terrorist organization since 1997, but after 2001 UN resolution, only they were properly, effectively opposing the LTTE activities in USA. I would like to emphasize and the fact, whilst during the humanitarian operations, when our military forces gained the control of regained the control of Kilinochchi on 6 January 2009, US ambassador mentioned this. The US does not advocate that government of Sri Lanka negotiate with LTTE, a group designated by the USA since 1997 as a foreign terrorist organization. So, this is an endorsement to continue further operations. The following day, Sri Lankan government proscribed LTTE. So, and continued operations. And everybody followed the stance of the powerful United States America. And when discussing on the bolstering activities of the LTTE, one is the fundraising. LTTE adopted, our terrorists adopted different ways of fundraising. One is collecting money from the individuals. Each individual has been given a PIN number in Europe, and he has to contribute $1 or €1 per day. And event-based fundraising. So they advertise that they want to fund, construct a hospital or a school, and then they raise funds based on that, and they have legitimate business through third party. That is for the money laundering. And they have Tamil mother tongue schools throughout. And then the Hindu temple management, which has very less paper trail. So the shipping network, they have the first and second shipping network they have established in Singapore, and the third one is in Kuala Lumpur, and the fourth one with the available resources, it's in Panama. And another important aspect is that these ships, the only captain was never Tamil. He was from some other national, and only few members were Tamils, and they were doing legitimate business while serving for the terrorist activities. And submarine technology. In June 2000, it was found in Phuket in Thailand that there is a shipyard. They are constructing, or they are constructing a submarine. It was reported to Sri Lanka. But later on it was found that that shipyard was owned by a Norwegian person who is having Norwegian passport, but he was a Sri Lankan Tamil. After 9 years, during humanitarian operations, our forces found some parts which were, some components used for development of a submarine in Mullaitivu. So, developing a submarine is not an easy task. That cannot be done with the indigenous knowledge. So, there should be a direct foreign support. Then the most important part, oil reserves of Gulf of Mannar. From 2000 to 2005, Norwegian company called TGS Norp conducted seismic study, the geological study, to check whether the oil is available. By 2005, they have confirmed that there may be oil in Gulf of Mannar. And in 2008, 8 exploration sites were identified and given 1 site each to India and China based on the bilateral relations. And Cairns India Company commenced their first oil exploration in January 2009. So, since Sri Lanka, the oil exploration aspect was very primitive stage in Sri Lanka, UK company called Fugro Data Solutions Company, they assisted computer modeling of these tenders. So, by 14th March 2007, whilst awarding $4,000 to the Sri Lankan government to promote energy security, US Ambassador mentioned this oil exploration needs transparent regulatory system. What is this transparent regulatory system?
Could you please wind up now?
That means the awarding tenders without on the competitive process. And again, in 2008, Japan has suggested Sri Lankan president to have ministerial consultation to have oil exploration on settlements of loans. He has found the proper trump at the correct time. So, but you can understand now, the people who are in the serve as co-chairs, all those people are there in this oil exploration process with India. Finally, my conclusion, based on the facts that I have researched, neither military nor peace effort without India is possible. Sri Lankan Tamil migrants is a key factor of this process, and we should address as to how to deal with them. And international resolution helps Sri Lanka to count down terrorism. And our foreign service need to be strengthened qualitatively and quantitatively. And we should formulate a proper long-term plan for the oil exploration in Sri Lanka. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commander Amila Amarawardhana.